Alrighty, we've gotten the cylinder head temperature probes installed, and you can go down to Radio Shack and buy this white shrink tube. Now what I've done is I've cut a piece of it, one for the front, one for the rear, and I marked it CHT, or cylinder head temperature, this one for the front. I've already installed the back. Then you just take and slip this over the wires that are on the probe, and I'm going to slide it down here just to behind where the shrink tube is from the factory. Then I'll take my heat gun. I've got a heat gun here. We'll shrink that down. When it gets hot, it'll just shrink down in size. Do both sides of it here. There. Now I've got a way to identify which wire is which. This one is cylinder head temperature front. This one is cylinder head temperature rear. Now the other side of this connector, when I get the connector put on, I will identify that side, and then as that runs down and goes up to the instrument panel to the gauge, I will identify the wire on that end as well, so that I know which wire is which. All the way through the system, you want to identify your wires so you know which one is which. Now, these wires will feed off from the top up here, and I will dress them down away from the exhaust system, and then eventually I've put this bracket on here. I cut out a piece of aluminum and bolted it to the side of the engine, and eventually I'll have two Adel clamps. Two of them, one will hold this group of wires, and the other one, which will be just above it, will hold the wires for the exhaust gas temperature probes. That way these things are not going to be flopping around in the wind. And eventually they will come down and feed down into the back side of this fuselage in here. They will be Adel clamped down here to secure them so that they don't rub or vibrate on the airframe. And eventually the connectors will be down in here. Yeah, that's it for this part of the wiring.